Hi cozy friends! This vlog is just gonna be kind of a little random hodgepodge of stuff. Some crafty fall DIY stuff, and then just some home stuff. Like I'm moving stuff around. I'm reworking this office. First though, I wanna do some air dry clay, and I have like this whole list of fall DIYs that I wanna do. And so we're gonna start with that. But I wanna thank our cozy sponsor for today, which is Rocket Money. Thank you so much, Rocket Money. Let me talk to you a little bit about them, and then we'll get into the air dry clay and maybe some polymer clay too. But if you're like, I want to do fall DIYs this summer, I want to do fall decorating, it's going to require you knowing what's going on in your financial life so that you can make some fun fall moves, getting craft supplies, going to the pumpkin patch, you know what I mean? You need to know what's going on in your financial world. So if you're feeling like you need to get your finances organized too, then Rocket Money is here to help you. So you guys already know the story by now about how I used Rocket Money back when I was in the process of buying a house to get a read on all of the subscriptions that I had, because y'all know subscriptions are all over the place. You have some streaming ones over here, you've got service ones over here, you've just got subscriptions everywhere, and you're like, I need to crack down on some, I need to cancel some, but I don't know where they all are, and I don't even know how to figure it out. The easiest way, and the way I did it when I was in the process of buying a house and trying to lean out some of my spending, was Rocket Money, where you just connect your bank accounts, and Rocket Money identifies all your subscription in a single list. So then you could go through and you could be like, I don't need that, I haven't watched anything on that for years, I didn't even know that was coming out of my bank account every month. And then recently I was like, you know what, it's time. Rocket Money, tell me what else I got going on. And I realized I had a whole subscription to a meal delivery service I wasn't using for months. And so once again, Rocket Money swooped in and saved me. And on top of finding all your subscriptions, Rocket Money might also be able to help you cancel in just a few taps. So they'll automatically scan your bills and see if there's any savings they can find you. And they can help you negotiate internet, phone, and cable bills. And I know we all have a little money we could be saving right now, and a lot of us don't have the capacity to do all of the budgeting and all of the hard stuff. So if you need that little bit of help and you want to take control of your finances today, go to rocketmoney.com/cozyk to get started for free. Thank you, Rocket Money. Let's dive into some clay. It's not my first time dealing with air dry clay, but it's my first time like without any kind of guide or aid or anything. Very much going in raw. But my last experiences were like little kits. They were like the brand Sculpt, and it was kits. And it tells you exactly what to do. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna work it out. Grabbed a little bit of water. I want to do a pumpkin and I want to do an acorn. I feel like that's doable. Okay. And I think I'm gonna make them smaller than the usual trinket dish, just because like, I don't know, like I think the drying time will be easier. Let's start simple. Alright, y'all, I have the pumpkin done. I feel like that's as good as it's gonna get. I feel pretty okay about this. Do I feel great about it? No. Does it matter? No. So this is gonna dry, and then either tomorrow or the next day it'll be fully dry, and then we can paint it. Next, I'm gonna try doing the acorn, but I'm gonna do it in a different method because I hated doing the rim on this. Not for any, like, it was fine. It was easy to do. It was just tedious, and I'm an impatient person, so I don't want to do that. I'm scared. I feel like I need to get this off. Ooh, stay there. Stay there. Okay. 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 I'm gonna lift it up and put it on, like, there we go. Oh, perfect. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a little silicone thing over here to dry. Perfect, yay! And then I can like shave things down if needed, but I'm gonna do a different method this time around, which is I wanna do it more like a cup. So it's just gonna be like the acorn shape, like dished like that. Now, what does the acorn look like? Oh, I'm looking at one right now, perfect, okay. Okay, we already kind of have like an acorn shape happening here. So I'm gonna cut that, I'm gonna cut that, pick that up, and then I'm just gonna clean up the sides of this. The water is absolutely necessary for this, I've realized. Do not put any water down your drain with clay particles in it. It will mess up your drain. I kind of feel like an acorn has a pointy bit, doesn't it? I might have to look up what an acorn looks like. Okay, yeah, an acorn. Yeah, let me put this bit back on. Dang it. It's looking pretty acorny, I gotta say. Okay, I think this one's done. I just need to find something to cup it in. Okay, I found this. Now the trouble is just getting it off of here, per usual. Come on, come on. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, it's not like super cuppy, but it's cuppy enough. It's cuppy enough, I think. Yeah, that's cuppy enough. Yay! Okay, so that's gonna dry over here also. Little recap on the air dry clay. I think it's fun. It's like more, and like I said, I've done air dry clay before. It's just been with kits or like in a class or something. It hasn't been just me improvising. I really like it because it's forgiving. I like any hobby that's really, really forgiving. Fix things if you mess up. And like I would mess up a line and then I'd be like, shoot, and I just rub some water on it. It'd be perfectly fine. And just very moldable. It's not frustrating. Like, it's just not that frustrating to deal with. I know there's a lot of mediums that I'm like, it's just not doing what I want it to do. This, it feels like it does what you want it to do. It might take like a couple tries, but it eventually does what you want it to do. I started with something easy, trinket dishes, but it'd be fun to try and do like miniatures with it, or little figurines, or like little houses. I could just see doing so many fun things with this. I know some people do like planters out of it. It could be fun. It could be fun, all of the things we could improvise with some air dry clay. I will pick back up when we have an update on these two trinket dishes. I can't wait. So we're gonna paint them. Yeah, I'm gonna clean up and I'll see you when we do that. All right, y'all, we're back. Here is the pumpkin and the top is cracked, but we're just gonna ignore that. And then we have the acorn, which is like it's kind of dish shaped, you know? Okay, so now I need to find the paint, and then I also wanna do the paper garland today too. Before that though, when I was in Santa Barbara, I thrifted these two really cute pieces from Crossroads. This long pleather jacket, like little blazer jacket thing, perfect for fall. And then I found these overalls, which I thought would be perfect for, you know, like working in the yard or like getting a little messy. Like these can be my messy ones, and then I have my other ones that are more like cute. That's like a old school Levi's. Anyways, they left the security tag on. I got home, I was like, no. So then I was just looking up on TikTok like certain ways to take it off. Apparently you could do one fork. This is a hack that, you know, use at your discretion. I don't condone any, you know, actually I don't care what you do. That's none of my business. Okay. Okay, apparently you put a fork here. Yep, you wiggle it in. Okay, and then you get another fork and you push it in like this. Oh! Oh my god, it half worked. It half worked. I heard a crack and it got out more than it was before. So this is, we're hopeful. We're hopeful. We're hopeful. Yay! Oh my gosh. That was easy peasy. Thank you, TikTok. Thank you, TikTok. Love you. My overalls. Look how cute they are. Now to paint. I'm gonna go find the paint that I want to use. Let's get to painting, y'all. Let's get to painting. The stem came off, so I gotta glue this puppy on. Glued on, time for the orange and the light brown. I did definitely put the eyes too close together on this pumpkin guy and he is falling apart. But here they are, little trinket dishes. I've learned a lot. How to paint it, how to reinforce it, maybe make it a little stronger. All right guys, now it's time to try the garland. I just watched a video on it and the main technique for this is just doing an accordion fold. So now these are all the same width and length, and then you fold them back to back to back to back. So I'm just gonna start doing that. You fold it like this, and then you fold it back again, and you just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so we've got this like accordion situation happening. Okay, so now I'm just gonna draw a pumpkin. Gonna get to cutting. Yay! Wait. My gosh, look at that. Look at that. An actual pumpkin garland. Yay. It'd be cute to like create multiple of them, tape them together, hang them up somewhere. All right, y'all, that's it for crafting for now. I'll see you in a bit. So my project for today is, you're gonna be like, what on earth? Where did this come from? Moving my little cozy nook corner chair, the big round guy, that whole corner. I'm moving it in here. And I know I was just talking about like wanting to move this room around. That was just an impulse that I had. I moved on, I regulated my emotions, I cleaned, and I realized I needed to clean my room. That's what that was about. But this is actually more exciting of a reason, and it's because my friend Bree, who has been in a few vlogs, I think, she is moving in with us. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have another friend moving in here. There's a whole storybooks story as to why, but the only important thing is that she is here with us, and I'm very excited. And I'm like, this is why I wanted to like buy a house with enough space, because like if anybody needed a space, family, like friends, whatever, I am like ecstatic to be able to be like, me, come here. It's like just in time for fall too. We're all very excited, but Bree is staying in the like hobby room. And so basically I was considering like I could just leave everything there, but then I was like, I don't know, like I want that room to feel like Bree's room. I don't want it to feel like she's just temporarily there and I have to be like, knock, knock, can I use the room to film in, please? So I'm just gonna move all of the stuff that like I have my little filming spaces in there. I'm just gonna move them in here. And I think I've realized like having the spaces separated just means like I'm either going in one or the other to do all of my things still. If I'm doing like hobby time in the hobby room, sometimes I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna stay in here and do work because I'm in here anyways. You know what I mean? So I kind of just end up, and then in here I'm like, okay, I finished work. I'm gonna play games with my friends on this computer because these are where my main games are. I feel like I've just ended up doing what I do anyways, and now I just have 2 rooms to do that in. So this is like, it's like a little experiment now. I get to see, okay, how can everything like work in this room? So what I'm gonna do is bring the big round chair. I'm gonna bring that to this corner because this is a corner that's really similar to both corners I've had the chair in so far. And I had this like very set up for my streaming backdrop because I was like, I have to have my streaming backdrop a specific way, But now that I'm not streaming anymore, y'all, like this can look however I want it to look. So that works perfectly. I can just shift this over a bunch and then have room for the chair. It's all clicking. And then with this L shape of the desk over here, then I have way better lighting to like film any hobby stuff, and that can be kind of like my hobby desk. That's exciting. That's the project we're gonna do now. Azula's here with me, huh, Azula? Azula has cuddled up in the cutest little way. You are so cute. You can miss the chair there. I'm gonna move a lot of my hobby stuff out of the cabinet so that she has cabinet space of her own, and like move a lot of the book stuff out of the bookcases and fill it. I have a whole like half of an empty closet, so I can fill my closet with all that stuff. And yeah. All right, let's go. It's not bad. And this is kind of how I had it last time, so it's really nostalgic to have it like this. This feels kind of good. Back like I never left. Oh my god, I'm so tired. That was my workout for the day. Okay, I think I might have to move the fridge back to the regular spot over there. I mean, I could just have it right here. Come on, fridge. You're coming with me. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. I'll pull this out more, like that. But then I could still fit the fridge back here, and that'd be kind of cute. Frick. I just moved it, but if I have the fridge right here in this corner, it sits like this. I open it up like this. Then I have this little space that's actually an L shape. Okay, so here's the updated office. You walk in, fridge here, desk here, and I could like maneuver my chair around, or I can bring that other chair in. Here's my chair, and it's creating kind of a little L shape, so I can like roll over here, work here if I need to, or I can have like separate hobby space here where I can like look out the window. And then we have my chair here, and then all of this is kind of moved down. I need to fix all this and all that, but all of this is moved down a bit, a scooch. This guy I moved over here, and now you kind of see more of like, it feels more like an office actually. You walk in, there's my bookshelf, there's my lamp. I'm gonna move that in the corner. This is the change I needed. I'm going to move all of like the peripheral stuff, like this lamp. I'm gonna plug it in over here, but I'm gonna start moving hobby stuff in here and figure out what to do with it later. Yeah, I do like that there. That's actually really cute. Wait, look at this. How cute is that? It's just a little hobby desk. And you look over there, there's my corner. That's adorable. We're making lemonade from lemons. Alright guys, here's like half of the hobby stuff moved into here. Basically all of this is gonna go in this whole side of the closet. I'm going to put the corner shelf up once Sheila is not so cutely sleeping. I'm gonna put the corner shelf up, and then the hanging orb lamp right there. Okay, all the corner is done. The corner's done. I feel like it's identical. It's identical. It's a little more squished. It's a little more cozy. It feels a lot like the corner in the last place. And I think I like it like this. Also, this little lamp there is cool. And I already like sat here to edit something that I had to submit for like 2 hours. So I'm locked in. I'm locked in. And it's my new yap space. So get ready. Get prepared to see this all the time. I feel like sometimes you just have to live in something to realize it's not right for you. I had to like be pushed to change things around for me to realize like, oh yeah, it works. It's okay that you can go back to how things were if that worked better for you. And Sheila likes it. Sheila's sleeping in the chair over there. Huh, Sheila? My other thought, stay with me, is I told y'all how I don't really use this for tea. Again, I had all these big plans, all these lofty plans. I don't use this for tea. I don't use it to make my matchas in the morning. For a while, I like had my milk up here and cold foam, and I like try and make a matcha up here. I just don't like it. I don't like to do it up here, so then I stopped doing it and I would just do it downstairs, and then I never touch this. Where I have like cabinet space for kitchen stuff, I think I'm just going to move all of this, keep this stuff for like the pantry downstairs, the extra kettle, tea kettle. I'll see if my family wants it. I think I'll just use all of this as hobby storage, and then this is a little hobby counter. It's like a, like with the sink, I can do paint stuff. Hobby counter. I'm so glad I'm doing this. Oh my gosh. I never touch this. I never touch this. And there's so much space under here that I can store things. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. That makes sense to me. Does it make sense to y'all? It makes sense to me. Let's get on with it. Okay, all of the kitchen coffee, tea stuff is cleared out. Everything's out of the drawers. I guess I'll just move everything in here and then see what makes sense to go in there. Especially like the drawers. I don't really know what to do with the drawers, but let's just experiment, right, Cheetah? Right, Cheetah? Okay. Okay, y'all. I'll show you the empty hobby room / guest room. Okay, here it is. Everything is emptied out. I left like all of the desk stuff just in case that's wanted. If not, we can put that away. And then I emptied out this so that there's like storage. Got 1 light, 2 lights, and then emptied that out, but left like a phone charger, left this painting, air purifier, left like 2 of the little lamps on the shelf and a candle. And then here's the bed pulled out. I'm leaving this in here because there's like not a TV in here, so I'm leaving this in here. And the plant and this, but this can all go if needed. And we were saying we can look for some kind of like dresser, whether it's gonna be like a really long one here or a rack, I don't know. It's the emptied room. And then over here is the mess that is now my room. So yes, I will be sorting this. It's actually less than I was anticipating, which I know sounds crazy because this is a lot. The first thing I want to figure out is where I'm going to put my books. So I have all of my books, as you know, because we organized it together. I have all my books downstairs, but I had my TBR shelf in that room. So I need a new spot for a TBR shelf. One of the things I do want to go through is my coloring books. Okay, I think I'm realizing I would like an in-progress area. Too much shit. This is what happens when you have too much shit. Okay, all that I have left is this bucket of paint stuff that I think can fit down there. And then these coloring books I need to go through. Okay, so I whittled it down to all of the coloring books I love here, and then all of the other activity books like watercolor in here. So it's in one easy basket. Before, this was all of my extras. So now I actually just have all of my favorites in here. Okay, so the last main things, actually I have a couple of some stray things. I'm gonna bring them over. More TBR, just my fall reading. Hey, I gotta say, whew, I just brought the last of everything in and cleaned all of the outside areas out, hallways and everything. I gotta say, doing this in one day, I'm proud of myself. And not even a full day. It was like a fourth of a day. I rode the wave of excitement about change, and here we are. Yay! This was a good purchase. It did me well. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it for paintbrushes actually. I'll keep it up there for like drawing. Now I have this random pile of stuff over here from the old desk. So let's see what fits, what I need. Give away. Keep away. Giving these away. This is like a solid Monday through Friday, but I think I'll still give it away because I have a couple others. Tape. Yay! Okay, sorted that. The last thing are these gosh dang books. I don't know what to do with them. I could just line them up like behind here. Let me try that. Ooh, idea. Brain blast. Brain blast. Okay, this one's season. Look, it's not ideal. You know what? I don't use these. So seasonal TBR will go there. But my absolute last thing are the little trinkets that I have. Let's look at my trinkets. I think what I'm gonna have to do is put them in this box until I have the heart to declutter them. And I do get that. I get the heart to declutter them. Like in that one huge declutter video, I got rid of so many trinkets and I was like, my babies. I don't know that I have the heart right now. We'll see. Okay, I have my little shop. I also I do want to set some up to display, but I just don't know how to do that right now with everything else. So I have this Calico Critter set that Maya got for me. It's really cute because there's a bunch of little food. And sentimental because it was a gift. Ooh, I gotta get my Halloween Sunny Angel out for the season. Okay. But yeah, the rest of these guys, I'm looking at them and I don't want this one. There's no sentimentality here, so. The rest are like actually sentimental. I can like recall a memory from each of the things, so. Not yet. This guy I've just had for forever and I love him, but I have two of him. I have this version and I have this version. And I feel like I've had this guy for way longer. I love this guy. So I'm gonna get rid of Squish. Okay, all of my Littlest Pet Shop guys that I got from unboxing. I kept the lightning bug, but I think I'm gonna give this away to somebody, one of the stream poopies. I think I'll give them away, and that'll be like a nice sentimental token. What is this shit? This is like, okay, this is a mix of stuff I definitely want to get rid of and stuff that I like, which is frustrating. Why did I do that to myself? That's a mental I'll sort later, but I want to get rid of a lot of that. I'm not sure about him. He's kind of big. I don't keep him anywhere. Should I put him up somewhere? No, I think I'm gonna go with the gut. Go with the gut. Ryan got this for me for all of my little baby miniatures. More cutie babies. I think I'll get rid of these because I don't know. Okay, so I have an extra basket and then I just put all of my trinkets in this box that was empty. Okay, Littlest Pet Shops I'm going to give away. Ooh, maybe I'll put this basket on top of the fridge instead. And I think I want this over here. That's cute. Okay, here's the setup. I actually cannot believe I got all this in here. Okay, so here's my TBR. And then this is just like if I want to put some extra paintbrushes or whatever. Here's the set of coloring books and like watercolor workbooks, and then my coloring pens there. Then we have a bunch of books, craft stuff, cleaning stuff. And that's that. Then I have the bags of trash and then giveaway. And there we have office/hobby room. There's the desk. I didn't change anything really over here. Hobby Central. I'm proud of us for getting through this, for figuring it out. This was like an unexpected move around, but I'm so happy with it. Like, I'm so happy with it. I'm so excited. Yeah, already it just like feels more like my space in here. I don't know what it was about having them separate. It just felt like parts of me were split. I'm learning to listen to my own brain. It's a lifelong process and journey, but I am learning. All right, let's go into something else. Come on. I'll catch you later. Okay, y'all, next we are making an Enoch. Enoch is from Over the Garden Wall. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. You should watch it. One of my favorite shows and fall shows in general. But I want to make it, so I got a bunch of felt for the face. I got ribbons for the body. And then I'm going to wrap this for his head. And then I have a little hot glue gun. And I'm going to do some, like, I don't know what for the face. A hope and a prayer. So let's get started. Okay, guys, he's ready. Yay! Oh my gosh, I love him. I love him so much. Look at him. Yay! He even has a back. I even put the back on. It's so haphazard and there's little scraps everywhere, but it's him. It's him. He's so cute. Ooh. He's adorable. I'd say easy. Just finding a pillow. Finding a pillow is the thing, or some kind of thing to use. But easy. Just some felt and some ribbons. I'm proud. I'm proud of this. Okay, that's our fall craft. I will see you later. Hi friends, I'm back from the wedding that we went to this weekend in Santa Barbara. I've seen a bunch of like curriculum videos, I'm sure you have too, on TikTok, where it's like creating a curriculum for like your quarter or for your half a year, like a couple quarters, creating a curriculum for just like various subjects kind of in your life that you want to learn about or that you want to do. And it can be anything from like playful and silly, or it could be more like educational, just whatever floats your boat. And so I put one together. I want to show y'all. Also, Azula is being adorable back here. Look at that. She's just asleep. Wait, I gotta get a close up. Look at her. You're so cute, girly. I just found this random template on Canva and then I customized it a bunch. But here's the curriculum map, and then I have seasons. This is gonna be my Q3 through Q4. And then I have courses. Modern literary fiction is the first like course, and then I have a drop down for like which subject it is, and I did a bunch for other ones I'll probably want to do in the future. So I have literary, history and politics, arts, crafts and hobbies, health, and then social matters. So modern literary fiction, because I feel like I haven't read a lot of modern literary fiction, so this is kind of my way to do that. And I have the objectives, which for this one is to read recently published literary fiction novels and analyze what they express about the modern world. Next we have paints and more, and that's under arts, crafts and hobbies, which is increased knowledge of techniques and styles amongst various paint mediums. And then rise of fascism, history and politics, become familiar with the political, social, and economic factors that may influence the rise of fascism in a modern nation. And then here's the course goals. So I just break it down in the same courses. I have the modern literary fiction, paints and more, and then rise of fascism. And then over here I have like what I'm gonna read, what I'm gonna do at the end, and I have that for all of the courses. So if you are interested in creating your own curriculum, it could be as long as you want it. Like if you know I don't have a lot of free time, I can read maybe 2 books in the next quarter, then don't like overload yourself. Don't do whatever. This is very ambitious and it's for Q3 and Q4, and we'll see if I even get to all of this. But it's a nice goal. It's a nice goal, and it's just a nice structure for continued learning, because I feel like continued learning is so important, and that's the whole point of the trend and stuff with the curriculum. Is it's hard to work continued learning into your everyday life, because I feel like a lot of our media is very focused on like, okay, it's brain off, which is good and valuable, and that should exist too, but like, you know, it's brain off, it's like mindless, it's just for funsies, and that is so important to have. But also I know so many of us also want to learn things and grow and reflect and continue learning that we would have done, or that we would be interested in, or that we never got to do, and things like that. For me, I feel like I got my absolute max of learning that I could possibly want, but there's always more. There's literally always more, and so this is just an exciting way to like think about what are those gaps that I would like to fill in, and then create just like a structure for that for however long this actually takes me. And I just have, for the more analytical ones, I have write a 1,000 word analysis, because that felt very approachable and easy, and it's not meant to like be seen by anybody. It's not meant to be a serious analysis. Like, it's just something that can help contextualize everything you learned, work that critical thinking and pattern recognition parts of your brain. Like, I can't remember the last time, I mean, I do, it was in 2021 when I was in law school, but the last time I had to like craft a thesis and then create a research paper and that type of thing. So this is not a research paper, it's just an analysis that I have on here to do. Just, you know, like coming up with a thesis, bringing in some supporting arguments, a little analysis. That's not a format that you get to do for normal things. Like, you're not writing emails in that kind of research paper or analysis paper format, and so it's nice to have somewhere to do that, because that actually was one of my favorite parts of learning, was writing papers, which is like, girl, you're a nerd and that's okay, but I love writing papers. And so yeah, this is just a little way for me to do that. Now I've read like a couple literary fiction novels in the past however many years. The ones I have read I loved. It's like, girl, maybe like continue, maybe try reading more. How about that? So I'm in a time in my life when I need things to be lighthearted. I need the media I consume to be lighthearted, but I also feel like it's important to push back on that every now and then and be like, okay, but do you have the capacity? Are you just like in a comfortable pattern and you haven't broken out of that pattern because you just haven't pushed yourself to? So we'll see. So that's my literary fiction. I just did some research on which books, I wanted to read books written by women of color. I forget the other like parameter I was looking for when I was researching, but for Rise of Fascism, I feel like that's self-explanatory, but I want to know like inner workings, I want to know signs, I want to know all those things, because I feel like all of my continued learning in like the history and political spheres is purely just like YouTube essays, which are good. I do have some YouTube essays on here to watch, but it's purely YouTube essays, and I feel like there's value in listening to experts in the field also. And I'm a YouTube essay girly. I love YouTube essays, but I also acknowledge their limitations. So that's where some of these like books and documentaries will come into play. And that's that, y'all. That's the curriculum. I feel like I like having a little bit of balance. I've got the painting in there too to balance some, like fun and more artistic and more hands-on. I'd also like to explore more of like a hobby-focused, art-focused curriculum. Especially, I think like at the start of next year, I'd love to do like interior design and like landscaping and just general like gardening and plants, just all of my hobbies. I would love to create a curriculum specifically tailored to those, but I felt like it was fun to get into the more intellectual curriculum this time around, just to see. This is not a special format. This is not a special template. You just create a table and there you go. So that's that. Okay, and then separately, I got this like whiteboard pin board, and this was before I moved everything around in my room, but I got this because I wanted to have a whiteboard that I could visualize my content, notes and ideas up here, and then like pinning a paper calendar here. So let's figure that out right now, is what I'm saying. I'll just leave this mostly blank just so that I have access to it. But let me find the paper calendar, see if that works. Okay, and then if I have this here, I think that works. I think that's good. I signed up for a ballet class for the fall, which I feel like also goes into the like curriculum, kind of, just not on paper, but I signed up for a ballet class. I've talked about how I did dance, like competitive dance, up until I went to high school. So it's like ingrained in me, doing it for years, body's destroyed from it. And we did like the Nutcracker every year too, so it was like very heavy ballet focus as well. There was a long time I like genuinely wanted to be a professional ballet dancer for Alvin Ailey specifically. Like that was my dream, and I went to like a private ballet tutor lady who was like specialized in kind of funneling you into professional ballet. And then I was like, no, I like school more, and then so I focused more on schoolwork and stuff. Last year when I was still at the gym in LA, they had a American Ballet Company person come in for classes like I think it was like once a month, and so I was like, I'm not passing that up. I did that, loved it, and it kind of renewed my love for ballet as an adult. And so I've been looking for places ever since that do like consistent ballet classes, and I just haven't been able to find one. And then just through like community classes, I found one, and I was like, yay! The same community classes that do like the paint classes that Maya and I took last season. What was that? It was like spring season actually. Same general place I found. So like if you're in your area and you're like, I don't know where to find classes, look to see if your county does like community classes and see if they have a sign up page, and it's usually by season. But yeah, it's like an adult ballet class, and I'm so excited. But I'm adding that to my schedule. I think is it 6 weeks or 8 weeks? I have so many little things that I've just signed up for and bought tickets for the fall that I want to make sure I have them all. Also, the Twilight movies re-release in October. Let's hang her up. Yay. All right, cozy friends. I hope you had fun coming along with me for some crafts, for some, you know, highs and lows in those crafts, and then just some redecorating, reorganizing the room. We're just fully diving into fall these days. We're gonna plan for fall next week. We're gonna decorate for fall the week after. So we have a lot of just fall stuff coming. I love you guys so much. Stay cozy. Bye.